All right, I'm just here with a quick video. It's really off the cuff, not much editing going on. Mauricio Pochettino mutually agreeing to leave Chelsea yesterday. Um, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I don't think Poch was the guy who was going to lead Chelsea to winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League. I'd be surprised if we had won the Europa League next year. But Poch kind of seemed like the guy who was going to set the team up, get to a good place, get to playing good football, and then they would replace him later on when it just felt like he had peaked, kind of like he did at Spurs. He finished the season really strong, 6 straight wins, got us into Europe, probably Europa League, assuming Man City doesn't bottle it against Manchester United in the FA Cup final. But I just don't get it. Um, the sporting directors have said now that they're looking for a younger manager. Kieran McKenna from Ipswich, Enzo from Leicester, who just got promoted to the Premier League. Same with Kieran, who's got promoted to the Premier League at Ipswich, which was really impressive. But I don't think he's the guy you want leading this team full of children. Um, they've also been linked to the Stuttgart manager, Honus, I believe is how you say his name. I mean, he'd be a huge addition to this team. But everything that's come out from Fabrizio or other sources in Germany or even in the English media has shown that he wants to stay at Stuttgart and he wants to build something there. I don't know what he's holding out for. Maybe he wants the Bayern job in a year or two or whatever he wants to move up. But he doesn't want to leave right now, and so I don't think Chelsea are going to be able to get him. So now I just don't know what the plan is. My guess would be Roberto De Zerbi. They've been linked to De Zerbi for, geez, multiple months now, even before the sacking of Poch. They were linked to him when things weren't going well at the kind of the midpoint of the season, and just kind of with the timing of his also mutual departure from Brighton, it just kind of feels like it's going to be Roberto De Zerbi. And that's another one. It just does not make a ton of sense to me. Roberto De Zerbi was over 4 against Pochettino this year, so it doesn't really feel like it's an upgrade. And I just don't understand the obsession that Chelsea have with Brighton. I mean, I kind of get it because, half of our staff now, a lot of our team, uh, the scouting, a lot of those guys are from Brighton. So I guess, if they say, "Oh yeah, Roberto's great to work with," perhaps Paul Winstanley and the other sporting director is listening to that, which I don't know why you're taking your advice from them. I mean, maybe they're good for input, but it just does not feel like the right people who should be making that call. Like this feels like a rash decision. I know it sounded like Pochettino wanted more say in transfers, which, people have said their piece about that he really didn't want Cole Palmer, which obviously would have been a huge mistake, or he didn't want other players. But I still just don't totally understand the decision here. You wanted someone who they said they wanted someone who just kind of wants to roll over, but to me that doesn't make a ton of sense because Paul and his buddy haven't done a great job building this team since Blue Co took over with Todd Boehly as the chairperson. But I just don't know where we're going from here because hiring De Zerbi, hiring McKenna, even Thomas Frank's been linked to this job, which, I mean, come on. Thomas Frank, he's great at Brentford, but he's just not ready to make a jump to a club as big as Chelsea. He just finished what, like 15th, 16th. He finished bottom half of the table this year. De Zerbi finished mid-table, bottom mid-table. He won one of his last 10 Premier League games, I think, including 6 losses. And it's just like, that's the guy? That's the guy we're going for? I know Brighton had an injury crisis too, but so did we. And it clearly Poch managed the injury crisis better than De Zerbi did. So I just don't get it. I don't know what Chelsea's doing. I don't know what the sporting directors are doing. I don't know what that boardroom is doing. Another huge, I don't know, again, take leaks with a grain of salt, but another huge leak that came out was that in the final evaluation with Pochettino, missed big chances were a factor they looked at, like, you're really gonna blame Poch for Nicholas Jackson trying to head the ball with his hand against Arsenal? Like, come on. Like, that's Pochettino did his job, got players into positions to put the ball away in the back of the net, and Nicholas Jackson just decided that half the time he didn't want to do that. And I think Jackson grew a ton over the year, and I think he has a bright future at Chelsea. But I don't think that should have been a factor in evaluating Pochettino's season. You can also see with Jackson and leaks from the locker room and other players that they're not happy about this decision. They wanted Pochettino to stay. And if this is going to cause us to lose young, promising players or influential players, I think it's just an overall net negative for the team. I think Pochettino was the guy to lead us into next year. And next year, maybe after not winning Europa League or maybe not qualifying for Champions League again, maybe that's when you take a more in-depth assessment at the end of his contract too. You don't have to renew his contract at the end of next year. I know that was another leak that came out too, though, was that Pacino was unhappy about not having uh, a contract that reflected more of a project, multiple years, more patience. But I don't know. I just think this was overall a giant mistake. If you're a Chelsea fan or you're not a Chelsea fan, let me know what you think. If you think Chelsea made the right decision, or if not.